Dear all, welcome to the class of International Economics. In the last few classes, we have discussed the possibility of economic integration, and we have explained two important organizations in the developed countries, that is European Union and NAFTA. Today we are checking the possibility of economic integration among the less developed countries, with focusing on two organizations. One is SAARC and another one is ASEAN. There are few organizations or economic integration among the less developed countries. It is given here. Firstly, SAARC. It is the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So it is an association for regional cooperation of South Asian countries. Secondly, ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, this is specifically for Southeast Asian nations. Then Central American Common Market CACM, Latin American Free Trade Association LAFTA, LAFTA, Caribbean Free Trade Association CFTA, East African Economic Community EAEC. So these are the different organizations which works in less developed countries or through the economic integration of less developed countries. So we are focusing on two major organizations, that is SAARC and ASEAN. So what is SAARC? SAARC is the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So obviously it is an association for regional cooperation among the countries of South Asia. So it is a political and economic cooperation of South Asian countries, and it was firstly envisaged by Bangladeshi President late Ziaur Rahman in 1980. Then after that, SAARC has come to being in 1985 with its founding members Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So these are the founding members of SAARC. And later Afghanistan joined in SAARC in 2007, and there are few observer countries like USA, European Union, China, Japan, South Korea, Iran, Australia, Myanmar. So these are the observer countries of SAARC. Now you can see here in the logo of SAARC. Okay, so that logo itself shows the symbol of cooperation or joining the hands of few countries. So the countries are here. It is the map of the countries also given here. What is the motto of SAARC? SAARC motto is deeper integration for peace and prosperity. So peace and prosperity is the major objective of this organization or association. Headquarters is Kathmandu, Nepal. First SAARC summit happened in Dhaka in 1985. Then the last summit, which was to be held in Pakistan in 2016, it was cancelled because of in 2016 in India there is a Uri terror attack. So there was diplomatic tensions between India and Pakistan. So so India was not ready to attend the meeting in Pakistan. So this was totally cancelled. After that, SAARC summit did not happen. And there are 5 areas of cooperation of SAARC countries, mainly agriculture, rural development, telecommunication, and meteorology, then health and population activities. So these are the areas which need more cooperation among the SAARC countries. And there are few principles. Firstly, respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, political equality, and independence of all member states. So this is the first principle of SAARC. Then non-use of force and peaceful settlement of all disputes. So if there is a dispute, without using any force, peaceful settlement is needed. That is another principle. Then non-interference in the internal matters. And also cooperation for mutual benefit. All decisions to be taken unanimously with the consent of all the members. All bilateral issues to be kept aside. Only the multilateral issues to be discussed in the summit and also in the meeting of SAARC. So these are the principles. And there are a few objectives, and also SAARC could achieve many things to be through the SAARC the countries could do so many things. Firstly, a lasting peace and prosperity in Indian subcontinent. This is the major aim of SAARC. Then when we are considering the trade and flow of capital, firstly these organizations started SAPTA, one organization which is known as SAPTA, South Asian Preferential Trading Arrangement. It was happened in 1995. You know that the preferential trading arrangement, it is giving preference to the member countries, and also some kind of concession in tariff and non-tariff barriers. So this kind of preferential trading arrangement happened in 1995 among the SAARC countries. Then later on it has changed to South Asian Free Trade Area, SAFTA. So SAFTA was envisaged by the as a first step towards transition to a free trade area. So it is not exactly a free trade area, but it was a transition to free trade area. Then after that they are trying to bring customs union, economic union, all. So this is the forward step to that. The SAFTA agreement was signed in 2004 in the 12th SAARC summit held in Pakistan, and the agreement came to force in 2006, July 1st. Though this is a free trade area, there are negative list, or we can say a sensitive list. Negative list means though there are some concessions in tariff and non-tariff barriers, some of the products may not be available for this concession. So one country can decide what are the products which should be avoided, which should be avoided from these concessions. So each country will give a negative list also, or sensitive list also. So that products will not be the concession will not be applicable to that products. And all the countries will be based on MFN, most favored nations. The member countries will be most favored nations. They will have always a preference compared to the non-members. Even though this is a good idea to bring a free trade area among the SAARC countries, but it was not working properly. In the paper it is good, but in practical it is not working properly. And also SAARC could bring some kind of visa exemption schemes. It was launched in 1992, especially for the dignitaries of each countries, like judges and parliamentarians and senior officials. So SAARC could take some initiative to give some exemption of visa for all these persons. So this is also another achievement of SAARC. But still there are failures and issues in the SAARC. Of course, the political tensions between India and Pakistan are the obvious reason, and it is the main issue of SAARC, because it is important, two important countries, India and Pakistan, but always India and Pakistan have some kind of political tensions. So it will also affect SAARC. and all the countries are based on narrow national interest. So for the common interest, it was not working properly. Then the political uncertainties in each country causes not to have a meaningful multilateral initiatives. So this kind of uncertainties and terror issues causes not to have a meaningful multilateral initiatives among these nations. Lack of security, infrastructure and terrorist threats in most of SAARC countries is another hindrance for proper cooperation. Then lastly, India's dominance, because India accounts for nearly 60% of SAARC population area and GDP. So India always has dominance. So it also badly affects the smooth conduct of SAARC. So second organization, which is important organization in less developed nations, that is ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So this is the full form of ASEAN. ASEAN was founded in August 8 in 1967. Some of the foreign ministers met, especially ministers of Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, then Singapore and Thailand sat together in Bangkok, Thailand and signed a document. So through this signing of this document, the ASEAN was born in 1967. Okay. ASEAN, as SAARC we said, ASEAN also promotes economic, political and security and cooperation among its members, and it is the most successful intergovernmental organizations in the developing world, in the less developed countries. So it is the most successful intergovernmental organizations. When we are talking about SAARC has always some kind of limitation because of some diplomatic issues, but ASEAN is successful in many things. So these are the countries of SAARC. Along with the founding members, again Brunei joined in 1984, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia also joined in ASEAN. And in 1976, the members signed the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, emphasizing ASEAN's promotion of peace, friendship and cooperation to build solidarity. So it is an important signature in the history of ASEAN. The 37th ASEAN summit, it happened in it was to be happen in Vietnam from 11th to 15th November of 2020, but it happened through the video conference because of this pandemic COVID situation. It happened through the video conference, and the headquarters of this ASEAN is Jakarta, Indonesia, and there is also some kind of association like an organization like ASEAN plus 3 and also ASEAN plus 6. What is this ASEAN plus 3? So ASEAN countries plus they have included 3 other countries from outside: China, South Korea, Japan in 1997, and they have organized one larger platform for cooperation, that is ASEAN plus 3. Then ASEAN plus 6, it is along with these 3 ASEAN countries plus 3 countries, plus they have included 3 more countries, that is Australia, India and New Zealand. So the possibility of more integration and more cooperation through this ASEAN plus 3 and ASEAN plus 6 is possible. And even the committees and summit of these organizations are happening in different years. So here I am given the logo of ASEAN. So you can see that in different colors, and each color has its own importance, and the round shape also has its own importance, and it also shows the cooperation among these countries. Then ASEAN's motto, it is one vision, one identity and one community. So this is the motto of ASEAN. Lastly, the main aims and purpose of ASEAN, it is to accelerate the economic growth, social progress and cultural development, and also to promote the regional peace and stability, and promote active collaboration and mutual assistance on the matters of common interest, and to provide assistance in training and research facilities, and the greater utilization of their agriculture industries and expansion of trade between these members. So these all are the aims and purpose of ASEAN. And also they had an ASEAN Vision 2020 in 1997. They have met in Kuala Lumpur and they have made an ASEAN Vision 2020. So it provides provisions for peace and stability, a nuclear free region and closer economic integration, human development and sustainable development, cultural heritage, being a drug free region, environment among drug free region and protecting environment. These all are the major aims or visions of ASEAN Vision 2020. Also, vision aimed to see an outward-looking ASEAN playing a pivotal role in international forum and advancing ASEAN's common interests. So these all are the major aims of ASEAN Vision 2020. But still, with all these objectives, some of the programs they could do, some of the achievements through this ASEAN, that is, all the countries could increase the food production and they could promote the tourism among these countries, and the countries could ease the travel restrictions among the members, and also enhance the cooperation in the field of mass media through the exchanges, through the radio and television programs. Finally, as we said, to improve the inter-regional trade. So plans were also put to liberalize the trade among the members, and restrictions were lowered, okay, to promote international trade or inter-regional trade. So these all were the main objectives, but some of the objectives could, the countries could achieve some of the objectives, but still there are some limitations. Firstly, the tendency to prioritize national over regional interest. So there are some regional interest. National interest. So there is a tendency to prioritize this national interest over the region or over the ASEAN's interest. So this is one limitation. And weak leadership, ineffective bureaucratic structure, and purely emulating the Western approach, which is not acceptable in this subcontinent, because we have different culture, different taste and preferences. So that is also another limitations. But still we can say that ASEAN, it is a most successful intergovernmental organizations in the less developed nations. So thank you for listening. You can refer this textbook, and also some of you can go through the website of each organization to get more details. Thank you listening. Okay, thank you very much.